So, you want to be a dungeon master.
So you want to be a dungeon master.
So you want to be a dungeon.
So you want to be a dungeon master.
So, you want to be a dungeon master.
That's great. We're here to help. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Justin. This week, reach for the sky, partner, and check your boots for snakes because we're venturing into the wild west of Reddit. We're looking at horror stories again, gang. Taylor and I will read the story, check out some comments, and put our experience to the test. What could have been prevented with... Wait, oh, I'm laughing now because I misworded this. Could it all have been prevented with basic empathy and communication? Oh, yes, they definitely could have. Probably. Anyway, let's get into it. But first... Always gotta be a but first. The first D in D&D stands for dungeons. So how do you create a dungeon? Where do you start? What do you put in the dungeon? Who owns the dungeons? And maybe the most important question of all, why dungeon?
Why dungeon? Yeah. Everybody wants to delve into the dungeon, but they never ask, how are you doing, dungeon? No, but anyway, starting with a dungeon, I usually start with a map. The very first thing, if I'm doing an actual, literal, legitimate dungeon crawl, I start with a map. You can do that either physically on pen and paper, or I like to use the, I did buy a couple, I think I bought them. I might have just found them. There's Roll20's got some really good dungeon tiles that you can use for building maps.
Yep.
There's also a really fun feature that I just saw a video on when it comes to this, as far as like traps. You can put on Roll20. You can
foreground.
You can use the foreground layer.
Yeah.
Check out Encounter Smith for his video.
Yeah, Tony is hitting us with some high quality Roll20 tips.
Yeah. But yeah, so the map comes first, then traps, then stuff. Like
how do you decide
like the loot?
How do you decide what monsters to put? Is it based on like, do you like when you are coming up with this dungeon, you have like your map a little bit. Are you going as in depth as like thinking about like who made this dungeon, like who created it, what was its original purpose, how has it changed over the years, or like are you kind of like there's a dungeon
most of the
here,
time
guys. It's in the name of the game.
So no, when I first started DMing, it was very much this game is Dungeons and Dragons. I'm making a bunch of dungeons.
Yeah.
Now that I work on campaigns more, the purpose for going into the dungeon is very much a part of the plot. So I will generally I'm going to retract my earlier statement and say I start with the big bad and then I go to the map. But
okay.
The big bad's kind of in mind. And so a lot of things in like the monster manual, if you're going to be putting the big bad in there, have already like minion type monsters to put in there. And then sometimes it's just to think about the environment, like what kind of setting are we in? Would it make sense for this creature to be here? Then yes.
Right. Or sometimes, hey, this monster definitely makes no sense being here. But why what if it was there though? Like maybe there's a reason.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, what if there's like a rift and there's like a portal inside the dungeon? So then there's like a weird creature that should not be in a dungeon. You could play with the trope or the expectation. But normally I agree with you. It's normally like there's a couple like classic D&D monsters that come to mind. There's a lot of like oozes, there's like gelatinous cubes are classics, right? Like even like a gibbering mouther, a roper, what else? There's like rust monster. There's a bunch.
Rust monsters are good.
Rust monsters are mean, man.
Devious.
Mean.
Yeah, rust monsters are rough.
Yeah.
Mean.
But
yeah. So
I like to think about that kind of stuff. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm straight up like, here's the dungeon. But other times when I have the time and like it maybe if it was part of a bigger setting that I was also creating, then I would put the time into being like, what was the original purpose of this? Because like obviously because it's called Dungeons and Dragons, we call them dungeons. But very rarely are they dungeons. Where,
Actual dungeons.
There are prisoners in the
no.
dungeon. That almost is never
right.
what they are. So
Right.
it's really funny to think about it that way. But I usually try and think about what was the original purpose of this. And then that helps me with descriptions of being like, okay, let's say that this is underneath of a cemetery and da-da-da. Okay, maybe you walk into a room where they used to do the embalming and like there's old equipment in here and stuff. So that's pretty creepy and weird. You go into another one, it's a crypt of a royal family because again, we're in a dungeon underneath the like cemetery or whatever. So there's like all those kinds of things that I like to think about. I also am a big fan of, I have to double check if this is, I guarantee it's in the new Dungeon Masters book. It's right there. Too late. It's like right behind me. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. I can't be swayed.
It's too far.
I'm trying. It's too far. So my wheelie chair and the Dungeon Master's Guide. I wish I could check 2024. I'm pretty sure it does though. Has tables, has really awesome tables that you can roll on if you're trying to do a randomly generated sort of thing. If you're just looking for like a basic design idea and you're just kind of throwing something together, or maybe you're improvising it a little bit and you're designing the dungeon as the players are going in it. Like that, obviously that's a different experience because it depends on how well you are at improv for the sake of descriptions and stuff. But it could be really interesting where like you as the DM don't know how many doors there are in the next chamber. So like when they get into the next chamber, you roll on, there's a table for how many exits are there out of this like chamber. And you roll a dice. It says, consult the table. And it says there's 3 doors and 1 hidden one. And you're like, okay, cool. And then you could even take a step further. There's usually a table for like, what are the doors made out of? If it's iron, it's harder to lockpick than a wooden door or even like break down or something. But then they'll include like the door is locked, the door is unlocked, the door is trapped and locked or something. Like it'll have all of that in a lot of those tables. And it is like really, really helpful, obviously, to have all of that information at your fingertips if you so chose to use it.
Yeah.
But let's ask this. Why dungeon? The most important question. Why put dungeons in? Like, why have a dungeon in your game? What's the point of it? Other than it's the name of the game in a very literal sense, but like, why put dungeons? Like, what's the point of them? Why do them? What's the good? What does it bring to the table?
So dungeons are kind of, to me, good ways to kind of raise the stakes a little bit. And what I mean is like the way that dungeons usually work and the way that they work best is with no rests during the dungeon, or maybe a short rest or something like that, but definitely no long rest inside this. So the dungeon gives you a way to give out some loot, level up your characters a little bit, and then also wear them down. Take away those resources.
Wear them down.
Yeah.
Get them nice.
Take away the resources. Yeah. And then drop a big bat on their heads.
A big bat.
And then that fight feels, oh my gosh. It was a death tyrant in one of mine.
I remember you telling me about it, and that's insane. The bone naga is small potatoes compared to the death tyrant. Because a bone naga, I think the strongest thing it can do is cast lightning bolt twice. Which is like, it's not nothing. But compared to a death tyrant, I mean, it's apples and potatoes, which is what the saying is. Apples and potatoes.
Nobody died. They did really well in the dungeon leading up and actually were at almost full resources going into it.
That's awesome.
They solved one of the traps the trap was, it was a room that the longer you stayed in it, a little timer built up. And then when you exit the room, you take that timer times however many HP loss. So they sent in a weasel, as was their usual trap checking method, because one of my players had a bag of tricks. It could just pull out weasels, and he'd pull out a weasel, and it ran in the room, and he left it in there for like a minute, and then it ran out and immediately just shriveled and died.
Oh boy, that's crazy. The bag of tricks is nuts, man. I was rereading it recently, and it does say that I think you can pull like 3 animals a day. It's nuts. And I also don't think that there's anything in there about how many are allowed at one time, or is there? And I missed that.
Nope. There's not that. There's really not a.
You just kind of.
This is how long they stick around for.
Yeah, it's just until they hit 0.
Because they're right, exactly. So
or maybe it's 8 hours. It's been a long time.
He pulled a giant elk, and he just has a giant elk with him all the time now.
That's awesome. I do love it. I don't think I've ever actually, as a player, had one. I've given them 2 players because it's one of those items. It's like the marvelous magic pigments. It's like a magic item that I want so badly, but because I'm a forever DM, I have to vicariously live through my players. Ugh, it's so annoying. But I might be getting a bag of tricks soon. I'm really looking forward to it. The tan bag is my favorite because the animals are more like jungle themed. Because you get like axebeak, baboon, jackal, ape, giant weasel. Hey, look at your little weasel. Giant weasel. Okay. Giant hyena and a tiger. So freaking cool. Once 3 fuzzy objects have been pulled from the bag can't be used until the next dawn. The creature vanishes at the next dawn. Or when it's reduced to 0. It's cool. Okay. You let a player get a dragon, so this is the least. A giant elk is the least. With a dragon,
right? An elk.
That's so funny. All right, well, let's get into the actual meat of the episode.
Horde of dead weasels.
Animate dead on a bunch of weasels. So fun.
That's actually a great idea.
All right.
So, do you want to roll a d20 and see who's reading first?
Sure.
Here we go. Oh, damn!
3.
Really? That's crazy. For those listening and only listening, I put up a 2 and then Taylor put up a 3. So
right. Yeah, we're doing this live. I keep forgetting we're recording this for an audio podcast, so none of our visual gags are good to go. Okay. So I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead and read that first one.
All right.
Oh boy.
And I've not read any of these.
I read them 2 weeks ago, whenever we wrote this. I forget how long it's been, so I forget them.
So, stories of overindulgent DMs. Some DMs are very in love with their writing, which is sometimes a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. I was once a part of a game where one of the characters was in love with the moons. There were 3 in this world. The DM gave them a magic moon related item that revealed there were actually 16 moons, and then went into a description about all 16 moons.
It's too many moons.
We sat there for what felt like half an hour listening to him listing off all the moons he had written and that we will never see. It was incredibly boring and at some point ridiculously funny as the list kept going. Yeah, that I would. Do you? It's like that bit of playing What's New Pussycat 27 times on the jukebox at the Waffle House. I think it's John Mulaney bit.
Yeah.
No, then we'll throw one.
So
something
else.
Yeah.
Father.
It had to be the most self-indulgent situation I've ever seen from a DM. Does anyone else have a similar story? You could have stopped him, but also.
That's awkward though. That is like, depending on your relationship, that can be really awkward to be like, hey, we get it, man. Like it's like when somebody's really passionate about something and they're not like hurting anybody. They're just like,
right.
It's like this weird thing. It can feel very like antagonistic and like almost mean to like cut them off, even though you wouldn't be mean. Like you would maybe be in the right. It's just depending on how you go about it. But it is like a tricky scenario. Like I personally would just like let that slide and then maybe privately, because I wouldn't call them out in person in front of everybody.
Right. Yeah.
I would privately message them after the game and be like, hey, so like in the future, I'm starting to get like distracted and I'm like, I find myself like not I wouldn't use the word nodding off. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. I find myself like losing commitment to the game or like focus when you describe something as beautifully as you do, but it's like 30 minutes of something that it's such an intricate piece of world building that doesn't apply to my character. And so I'm kind of like not super interested in it. It sounded great when you said it, but like, is there a way that you can maybe like spread the love a little bit? Like share the spotlight. The DM should not be hogging the spotlight.
Yeah.
They naturally will be talking probably more than most PCs anyway. So like they don't need any more airtime, I don't think.
Yeah. And I'm not going to fault the DM too much because kudos on excellent world building and taking the time to build out your world like that.
Yeah.
But also, if it's one character who's super concerned about the moons, be like, hey, there's actually 16 moons. Here, let me just send you a message with all the 16 moons and you can read them.
Yeah.
Because it's mainly for just your character.
Yeah.
So here's all the actual 16 moons. You're not going to be seeing most of them, but here they are.
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
that way the character who wants the moon stuff, gets
highlight
it,
your favorite
but then,
too. Like you could talk about some of the moons, but like let's get a the Beatles' greatest hits. You know what I mean? Strawberry Fields Forever, Hey Jude, Imagine. Like we get it. Those are literally the first 3 songs that stuck in my head. They're not my favorites. It would probably be Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds. Oh God, Yesterday, and oh geez, now I'm gonna absolutely brain fart. My dad's such a huge Beatles fan. He's gonna be furious. Oh no. Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds. We don't have time for this, Taylor. What are you doing?
Sorry.
And gang, that's called deflecting. And that's called deflecting. That's an advanced DM tip. Just kidding.
Deflect onto the players.
So like I did the first comment is somebody going, I think you mean self-indulgent. I thought it was going to be about a DM who gave out too many magic items or approved broken homebrew. I'm not saying you're wrong, just that self-indulgent would be more precise, but yeah, it sounds funny. First of all, you sound like a rules lawyer. This commenter, I mean, being like, actually, you mean self-indulgent, not overindulgent. It's like, come on, man. What are we doing here? Even if you are correct, technically, it's like, at what cost? Your soul. But I do think it is really interesting. I also did give it a bing. And what's another site? What's another search engine that is actually more like ethical? Because Microsoft is doing some weird stuff too, and I don't know if Bing is the move anymore. DuckDuckGo?
DuckDuckGo.
All right, so I ducked it, and is that how we're gonna do it? I ducked it, or I goosed it. No, I'm trying to think. I ducked it, and Saturn has 274 moons.
All right, I'm needed.
So it sounds like that DM needs to pick their fucking game up. They're slacking, actually.
Need a very detailed description of each moon.
You want me to name
before we can move on with the podcast?
All right, you got it.
I'm kidding. No, I'm so kidding.
Say them
we don't have, Justin. We don't have time.
I did it. If you slow now, listeners. If you slow that down and play it back, it's every single 274 moons. I did it. I just said it so fast that it sounded like gibberish. Titan, Enceladus, Hyperion, Prometheus, Pandora, Janus, Epithemius, Mimas, Iapetus, Phoebe. What are you doing there, Phoebe? That sounds crazy. I mean, I know Phoebe is one of those names where you think that it's a newer name because of like the show Friends, but Phoebe's actually like a really old name. It's like the name Tiffany. Tiffany is like in the Bible. Like it's such a, I don't know if it actually is, but it's like a really old name.
Yeah.
But when you hear the name Tiffany, you're like, that's a valley girl in California today. There's no way there was Tiffany's walking around 200, 300, 500 years ago. But it's like, no, it actually was. I know it more from Magic School Bus. Oh, you're talking about Saturn and the moons? Yeah. All kinds of interesting stuff there. Well, yeah, I think that's a normal thing to fall into. It's easy for DMs to get really like in love with their own world and their setting. I mean, I know I do all the time. Like when it comes to Sphinx City and stuff, I love Sphinx City. I could talk about it forever, but I always am cognizant of like lore dumping on an unwilling participant. You know, if they want me to, I got you. Otherwise, I will just tell them, yeah, like I have this whole Google Doc. It has so many different locations. Like I have like 80 different locations in there, like a bunch for each of the different boroughs and neighborhoods. For example, in there we have something called Little Feywild. So it's based on Little Italy. So like if you speak Sylvan, you speak Italian. And that's kind of where I end it, right? And it just gives them a little taste of what I'm doing with Sphinx City. I bring up one of the things that makes me the most proud of that setting. And then if they want to hear more, they'll ask, you know?
Right.
And you go from there. So it is a classic situation that's very common to fall into that, but
yeah, and that also leads to them engaging with the story more. If they're asking questions and want to know more, you give it to them in little spoonfuls.
Yeah,
and then it also helps them pull, like it pulls them into the game too. But
100%.
You got to share, like Justin said earlier, you got to share the spotlight a little bit. You can't just be the only one talking. Nobody likes that's just you writing a book.
Yeah, and we're all just listening to your audiobook.
Right.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, there are games and DMs and players who are more into that. It obviously can vary depending on the table, but yeah, I think having a conversation and that's why it's so important to have not just session 0, but other check-ins, you know? Whether it's at the end of every single session, maybe it's every like once a month, like whatever feels right for your group. Having something like Stars and Wishes or Roses and Thorns, or even just asking question, comments, concerns or something, like having something is a really nice way to have this open dialogue and help with communication. Oh, look at that. Our very first Reddit story, and it goes back to communication. Go figure. Shall we move on to the next one, Taylor?
Let's do it.
Our next one. Player can't even be bothered to write their own application.
What?
I'm in the process of hunting for players for a summertime game. I like the way that sounds. Sounds very whimsical. I'm in the process of hunting for players for a summertime game. I'm a teacher.
Yes.
So the summer is my prime time for DMing. Short to mid-length campaigns that last a couple of months. I've placed adverts around with a very simple questionnaire asking what players are looking for in a game, what appealed about my post, and why they think they'd be a good fit, among other things. My game apps tend to be short because I find the process to be onerous in many cases, and I want to get a feel for prospective players without swamping them with a massive written application. Since I'm a teacher in the year 2025, in the year of our Lord 2025, I have also grown very accustomed to spotting AI-generated text. I just got an application in by a person who had AI handle the entire process for them, save for the character pitch segment. Edit. On a reread, much of the pitch is also AI. Alas. This person writes in a very eloquent and eloquent isn't even the right word, like verbose way, like intentionally using some big language. It's very funny.
Right.
I like it though. I'm so disheartened. I put a lot of effort into preparing my materials, and it just feels really shitty. You're going to say alas and then shitty a little. That's so funny. Okay. It just feels really shitty to have a prospective player not even meet me with a bare minimum. Edit. I am fully aware that AI checkers are shit. The first and most important round of checking for it was my own eyeballs, judgment, and experience with catching students who want to cheat. I'm very good at it. Woof. Well,
now so there's one thing that I want to know for sure before passing super amount of judgment. I need to run this teacher through like a test. I need a control group of are you actually good at seeing AI,
I know,
or do you just see AI in everything?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because there is a lot of like, it feels very interesting. Obviously, the second part, the last part is an edit.
This post feels a little AI-ish. Like this post itself feels a little like a person might not have written this.
I know, right? It's so funny. But it's like, and I understand, like, we're in a really scary and weird time right now where there is so much AI that is being, thrust upon us by people, by companies, by corporations, by everything. And the pendulum is starting to overswing, right? Like, it was like, it's just like, the pendulum is swinging a little too far, and that's normal. That happens all the time with these like changes to culture, where like the pendulum overswings, and now we're starting to call everything out as AI when it's not AI, and it's like you have to be a little wary about that. You have to be careful, especially when like we hear all the time in the news about a kid who just like loses a scholarship because they think that their paper was AI, and it's like no, I used an M dash. Like humans can use M dashes. It's crazy that you're calling everything that has
there's
hyphen.
A word for it.
Yeah, like I don't understand. So like, but I can also understand like I don't know. Like obviously with art, it's much easier to, or at least I feel like it is. Unfortunately, things are getting the computers are getting smarter. But like, like with writing, I can't really imagine. I mean, obviously there's certain aspects that you would be able to find like some plagiarism or some things here and there where it's like very clearly like, especially if you know the student. That's the thing though, sir. Because it's definitely a man who wrote this. That's the thing, sir. You, and I feel confident in that. As a non-binary gender fluid person, I feel really confident saying that. You know your students. You know the students a little bit better. So you have a little bit of a better idea of like what their normal voice is in their writing or in their speech and everything. So like if Cletus, no offense to anyone named Cletus, I'm not trying to drag Cletus under the bus, but if Cletus writes fucking Romeo and Juliet, you're like, okay, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, right. Hang on a second.
Hang on. Wait a minute. But then like, these are strangers. You have no idea who these people are. Now, of course, and again, we don't get to see what it is, which is also another thing that's kind of funny about this post is like, put a quote. Give us one example. You gave us no examples other than I'm very good at noticing it. I'm very good. I don't need an AI checker. I have eyeballs and judgment. It's like, all right, brother.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, get off your high horse for 2 seconds. Yeah, for some reason, I'm attacking the OP big time instead of the person who used AI, presumably.
Right. Presumably.
Here's the thing.
That's my thing. If the person did use AI, so let's switch the script a little bit.
100%.
If this person really was using AI, they're a piece of shit with no imagination, and you don't want them at your table.
Hell yeah, dude. I agree. Harsh language, but it feels deserved because yes.
Yeah.
It's so easy to not use AI, to depend on everything. It really is. Half the things that people are using ChatGPT for, you could literally Google it. Like, does Google search engine still use a lot of energy? Yeah, sure. But like, not as much as ChatGPT for the simplest of questions. I don't understand why you have to ask ChatGPT where the best taco place is when you could just fucking Bing it. That's crazy. So then the idea that you need to go to AI to get a new idea is like, consume more media. Like, get out there, touch grass, read a book, listen to some music, watch a movie, watch an anime. You'll fucking figure some shit
experiences. Yeah.
Like, inspiration is all around us. The idea that you have to have a computerized fake, like literally nobody, you're talking to yourself, except you're not. Talking to yourself actually would be way more helpful. I do that all the time. I'm a little nutto, but like, yeah, just the idea that like you so can't figure things out that you have to type into a computer like, hey, what's a good idea for a rogue? And it's going to spit out whatever answers it stole from other people. So why don't you just steal from other people? Cut out the middleman. And it's not, they're not even a man, they're a computer. Cut out the middle robot. And just do it yourself. Just watch some actual plays. Read some books, right? Like, I just don't understand, man. Obviously, I'm a little biased and like I'm a little like in a place of I don't want to like sound conceited, but like I'm good at creativity, right? Like I come up with like ideas and stories and content all the fucking time, literally every day.
But a lot of it comes,
and so, but I get my shit from other shit.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. And a lot of it comes to the creativity of doing like, or not creativity, practice. You've practiced doing D&D and getting ideas and turning ideas into jokes and stuff like that, or whatever. That's something that you practiced over time. It wasn't something you just kind of woke up with and was like, bam. The only way to to learn is by doing, like if you're using AI to try to create for you, you're not learning how to be creative.
Exactly. You're never going to learn. You're just going to have this detrimental
you're gonna become more and more dependent on that stupid computer thing. And then God forbid the power goes out.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah. Hey, it's like all these young whippersnappers around here. Hey, can they read a map? No. They just go on their little freaking flip phone and they type it in and it says turn left. No one can read a map anymore. And honestly, as much as I'm playing a character right now, aka my grandpa, there's something to be said about that. Like when people make the argument about writing in cursive, go fuck yourself. That's stupid. Cursive is useless. Yeah. But like reading a map is like a genuine skill. Like that's helpful.
Yeah.
Being able to change your own tire, change your own oil, those are like genuine skills that like people who own cars should learn how to do. Right. Even when, yes, if you have the income and you have that, like what an amazing privilege that you never have to worry about that and you can just like pay a mechanic. That's awesome. I love that for you. But also, what if you break down on the side of the road? What if you like, you know what I mean? What if you have a kid and one day they call you and they're like, Daddy, I broke down on the side of the road. How do I change my car? Thank God you know how to do it instead of being like, well, I don't. And it's like, you're a grown adult. You should learn how to, some basic things. Yeah. And creativity is just as important as anything else in my mind. And so it's like, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Like Taylor said, not only are you stunting your own creativity and its potential to grow, but also you're stealing from everybody else through the way that those generative AI programs work, both art-wise and writing-wise and stuff like that. Most of the time without people's consent. It would be different if there was like a generative AI program that was very programmed very specifically to be like, we only scrape from artists who say it's okay. Then now then there's a question of like the environmental impact, which is like a different conversation. That would feel better though. Like I would be a little bit more okay with people doing that if that was the model. But it's never the model. The model is like, it starts there maybe, and then they're like, okay, but what if we also get some over here, and then get some from over here, and then it turns evil. And then next thing you know, Skynet. And so I just worry
really like
that we are homogenizing all of our creativity to a level where like if everybody begins going to AI and ChatGPT and looking for answers, ChatGPT is pulling from all the same locations. What's the common denominator? It's ChatGPT. Over time, isn't that going to funnel all of our creative artwork into a sort of like homogenous sort of bastard mutant of all of these chimera of things? Right? Like, I don't want to get too philosophical about it, but I think I just nailed it.
It's very dangerous, has the potential to be very bad because it would, like, I mean, the less creatives we have out in the world that are, actually creating stuff, eventually we're going to run out of stuff.
Yeah.
To pull from. And then it is going to just be this kind of bland meat more joke. Every joke is meat more.
Seriously, dude.
Because it would immediately go to the skibbity bullshit.
Oh God.
Like it's all the language would be the next thing to go.
Yep, absolutely. Holy shit. How dull. Yeah, it really bums me out too, because like sometimes I'll even like find a creator that I really appreciate and like I just recently started watching a particular YouTuber who's like a filmographer and like a photographer and like does editing on DaVinci, which is why I started following him. Because I was like, oh, we're going to start using DaVinci. Like, let me check out. He has like cool videos on like, here's how to do this weird ass text thing. And I'm like, oh, that's sick. Like when there's like a video and it's as if the title of the screen is like actually printed on a wall or it's like on the floor. So like as the camera moves by, it's as if the title of the movie is like literally in the scene. It showed how to do that. And I was like, oh, this is a great video. And it was a great video. And then I watched another video where he was like, sometimes I won't know what to do next. So I'll ask AI. And I remember just being like, oh, thumbs down, unfollow. I'm not interested in you at all.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Now I think you're not as good as you think you are. Now I think you're not as good. Even if your products are like, I'm looking at your videos. They look well edited, but now I can't tell what's what. And now I just think this guy doesn't have a creative bone in his body. Or he has like some bones in his body that are creative, because obviously he's not using AI for every single thing, but still it's like, I can't imagine that. Like, actually I can imagine that, unfortunately, but like, I just don't get it. I don't get depending on these computer systems out here to be able to tell you what to do and like give you ideas when it's like, I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's how we feel about that.
Anyway. Yeah,
we feel pretty strongly about that.
There's the stance on AI. You can go ahead and post that.
And it's like more specifically like generative AI. Like AI is such a huge umbrella term.
Yeah, no,
like,
right.
I know you know that. I'm just saying for the audience.
Yeah. Because, it's very much the generative stealing artwork AI that we're very, very, very against.
Super against.
We're stealing creativity from other people. Like, use your own brain.
Only going to be
whatever
bad.
I'm sad that you feel so poorly about your own brain that you feel like you have to steal other people's.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just silly to me. I can't understand it at all. But I don't know. Maybe one day they'll get on our level. Until then, maybe they're beneath us. Maybe they can ask ChatGPT for a pickaxe and they can climb their way out of the fucking hole. In hell.
Jesus Christ. All right. We got to move on. We're getting a little dark over here. All right. Next story from Reddit. First time as a player, is it always this bad? Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
All right. I've been playing for about 9.5 years, but the whole time I've been the forever DM. Today was the first session of an online campaign I joined in an effort to begin playing instead of DMing. The first PC to be introduced had the noble background and decided, without asking the DM, that he has a magical water elemental fox thing. Okay.
It sounds sick, though.
It sounds sick. You can have it. Mechanically, it does nothing.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. But let's keep reading it.
Mechanically, you can have it for scenes because I think it's adorable and cute, but mechanically, unless you have some kind of find familiar ability, absolutely not.
Yep.
The opening scene included a child biting into an apple, significant because of in-universe lore, and then beginning to convulse. A child. Wild. I, playing a druid, tried to cast Detect Poison and tried to figure it out. The player interrupted me twice while I tried to speak to the DM and then told, not asked, the DM that because they were a noble, they could sneak into an off-limit space and rolled without being asked. Then they then got snippy when I cast the spell and asked why I was trying to overtake their roleplay moment. Throughout the hour-long session, which is another tidbit that annoyed me. Wow, that's really short. They repeated that they were a noble 7 or 8 times. His wife was also speaking and making jokes with him the entire time. The DM also did no work whatsoever to integrate player backstories into the campaign. One of the other characters is a dragon. Right? Yeah, that's nothing. One of the other characters is a dragonborn, and I, playing a half dragonborn, half elf, wanted to roll to make sure I didn't recognize him from a city in my backstory. The other player had written in memory loss, so he gave it up to the DM to decide, and the DM stayed completely quiet before asking what city I was talking about. I understand that this can be another style of DMing that I just don't personally use, but I can't tell if it's lazy/bad DMing as well. I'm really excited about this character, and I don't want to have to leave after only one session, but as I've never played as a player before, I'm unsure if this is just par for the course or how to bring this up to my DM in a respectful way. Sounds like you didn't have a session 0.
It does sound like that. And also, if you've been DMing for 9.5 years, you know what it's like to be a player because you've sat across them this entire time. So you know. You should, at least. You should know what is like expected and or like the status quo or what is the norm for a player.
Right.
And like clearly this is not it. We're also talking about an hour-long session. Of course you didn't work in character backstories. You literally don't have time for that.
Yeah.
It sounds like the other player was a dick in general.
That player would
addition-
be getting a talking to at the end of the session.
Yeah.
But also so the opening scene included a child biting into an apple and then beginning to convulse.
Yeah.
The way
that's
they're
a
saying
boundary
it, and the
thing.
way that
That's
I
where
take
it's
it,
like,
that's a boundary thing that needs to be talked about.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, like maybe your table's down for that, because that was something I had to find out. Because like for whatever reason, for me, when it comes to D&D and like tabletop games, my limits or my boundaries can be pushed a lot further than if I was watching it on TV or a movie. For example, like gore is something I do not fuck with on movies and stuff. Like there's a certain level of it that I'm not interested. Like for example, like the Saw movies, like I'm not watching them. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then the same could be true of like horror. I'm not into watching scary movies, but like I'm down for all of that in a TTRPG. And for me personally, I'd be okay with this scene, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And it's only because it's being described, or I'm not watching it on TV. If it was TV, I'd be like, fast forward or something. But
Right.
But yet you're absolutely right. This is a very common boundary. As two people who have been playing actual plays and have been meeting more and more people in the space, this and harm to animals are like, not like, obviously there's like the really big ones like racism and genocide and like huge stuff.
Yeah.
Those are obvious and we almost don't even need to talk about them most of the time. It's like, duh, we're not going to include that. Like even if every player was cool with it, I'm not. I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
But those are like two really common ones, is harm to animals and harm to children. So like you got to talk about that beforehand. Notwithstanding, there's so many other issues going on here too. It sounds like the DM and this one player have a pretty close relationship where they are their relationship, which is not a bad thing. It's fine to be closer. Like Taylor and I are much closer than a lot of the other people that we play games with and stuff. But I would like to believe, and Taylor might be biased, so maybe his answer isn't going to be the same as if we talked to those other players. I'd like to believe that I don't give Taylor special treatment or like favoritism. You know what I mean? Like where I'm going to let Taylor have a cool water elemental fox, but no one else is allowed a water elemental fox.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like,
I mean, and I'm cool with the water elemental fox thing.
Yeah.
It can do nothing.
I'm fine with
You
even
can
letting
have
it do
but
what a fox can do, because a fox, I'm looking at it now, CR0, 2 hit points. You can have a fox. I don't give a shit. It's going to die.
Right.
If you use
Fair.
it mechanically.
Right.
That's how I handle, that sounded harsh. I would never hurt a fox on purpose. But like in my games, I handle familiars and animal companions like very specifically. And this is all covered beforehand in a session 0, where I set the expectation of like, if you're using your familiar to do a ton of stuff in combat, then they could become a target.
I'm going to kill that dog.
Yeah. But if it's just a cute little guy and it's just role play and flavor and stuff like that, then even if I hit you with a fireball, your animal is immune, because who cares? They serve no mechanical purpose. It's just funsies. So like, I'm not going to dick you over on that. Like, that's fine. I feel a little bit differently for familiars because they very specifically don't die. They just, and you can call them back whenever you want. So it's a little different, but same principles though. Yeah. So like the water fox is it's definitely a weird move because it's indicative of something bigger, which is what we see later on of them getting snippy when they cast a spell and ask why I was trying to overtake their roleplay moment. You assuming that the OP is telling the truth, you interrupted them before, actually twice, when I tried to speak to the DM, and then told, not asked the DM that because they were a noble, they can sneak into an off limits thing. That's annoying. I don't like it when players kind of like. This is weird because it almost never happens like this. I don't want a player to take away my agency as the DM.
Right.
To have a player be like, I'm doing this. And it's like, obviously there's circumstances where that would be fine. Like, hey, it's your turn in combat. I'm going to hit the monster. It's like, okay, that's good. Roll your dice and let's see. But if you're like in an exploration scene and I'm like, cool, so there's this off limits area. There's a bunch of guards. You guys can't really get that way. I'm going that way.
I'm brave.
Okay, well, there's guards there. And, well, I'm a noble, so I'm going. Okay, calm down. You're acting like a noble, and it's starting to piss me off.
Also, did you see the kid? Did you see the kid? Where let's help the child first.
Well, it's because of in-universe lore.
Mm,
What does that even mean? Apples are poison?
I don't even know. Oh yeah.
Is this a devil fruit One Piece kind of thing? Is this Snow White?
Sounds like this DM's using AI.
Probably, dude. Freaking probably. Wanted to roll to make sure I didn't recognize him from his city. The other player had written in memory loss. Oof, boy. So he gave it up to the DM to decide. Yeah.
Oh, interrupting. Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things. It feels like the DM was unprepared and not just unprepared, but like not very interested in being a DM.
Right.
Like that's the impression I get from this story is like this DM doesn't even want to be a DM. Like they want to just goof off.
Definitely don't listen to our podcast.
They clearly don't. The very first of all, this username is hilarious. Peachosaurus Rex says, gut reaction, bow out now. Every campaign needs some time to find its footing, but the vibes should absolutely not be this bad right off the bat. If the main problem was the other players and not the DM, maybe talk to the DM first and voice your concerns. If they seem open to trying to resolve them, then maybe give them another chance. But if not, then you'll know this table isn't for you. That is 221 upvotes. I totally agree, Peachosaurus. Because it really does come down to, I mean, it doesn't sound like this DM. This is like a weird situation where depending on if I knew them or not, oh no, he joined an online campaign. He joined in efforts of being a thing. No, I would leave immediately. I wouldn't even talk to them. I wouldn't even do them the service of telling them I'm leaving. I would ghost their asses. That's how I personally would handle it, but I'm petty sometimes. Taylor knows this. Sometimes I get really petty and I'm just like, you know what? Actually, I'm going to put thumbtacks in your shoes. Make fun of my dancing. We'll see who dances funny now.
Jesus.
So, first time player, is it always this bad? No, it is everybody. Not. Yeah.
No, it's not supposed to be this bad.
This person does have an interesting take where they're like, I've never been a player. Is it always like this? Is it like it for your players? You've been a DM for 9 years. How do you not know that this is not normal?
Right.
Have you been asleep at the wheel? What's going on? So it is like
they're using AI
to
DM for them.
Dude, it's freaking Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson.
Sneak peek.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really funny. That's interesting.
That's such a funny video.
Player gives the DM memory loss. DM has memory loss and forgets to run game. Interrupting BBEG question mark from the chat. I'm asking questions from the chat. If you're listening to the podcast, that's why I'm sometimes responding to things that Taylor isn't explicitly saying. Yeah. I think interrupting the BBEG is like a unique thing. Like there's a lot of precedence there, both in like pop culture. I mean, let's think about when did The Incredibles come out?
Right.
Like 2004.
4. Okay.
Yeah, 2004. The Incredibles come out. And
you caught me monologuing.
You caught me monologuing me. In 2004 they're making fun of a trope. That villain's monologue. That's how old that trope goes. I mean, think back to Shakespeare, and there's entire soliloquies given from certain characters, right? Like, so there's all kinds of precedents for BBEGs and monologuing, and therefore people interrupting monologues. So I think that there's a long history of that. What I do as a DM, sometimes I'll allow it. It depends on how like low key. It's like, how much do I like this monologue? Like, do I really want to say this monologue, or is it like not that important? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
If it's not that important, have at it. I'll wait until if a player interrupts me, then a player interrupts me. They get their turn and then roll for initiative. But sometimes if it's like I really want to say the thing, then I let them roll initiative. Okay, the BBG's here. He does one of those with his cape and then roll for initiative. When it gets to the BBEG's turn, I'll do the monologue as part of his turn.
Yeah.
You can't interrupt him now. It's not your turn. Unless you have a reaction that says triggered by monologue, which you don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I've learned. Because it's a good point, Lance, that interrupting a BBEG is unique when compared to interrupting a DM or another player. That's obviously very different because it breaks outside of the fourth wall, which of course is in this direction. I don't know why I did that.
It's right there.
It's right there. Okay. Let's move on. What is this?
There's another visual gag for the
Story
podcast
4.
that nobody is going to know what we're talking about.
Listen, gang, you gotta be following us on Twitch. You're gonna get this when you subscribe. You hit that bell Now I'm confusing all of my social media platforms. Smash that like button. And hit that.
This is the one with the bell, and it will tell you. It also has
YouTube.
A bell.
Also has a bell, but
YouTube has. They've all got bells. Look, hit all the bells.
Hit the
if
bells.
You see us, just hit the bells.
Feel free. We also put out a ton of really interesting, fun content over on the Patreon. Highly recommend. It's just a really fun way. Obviously, it also helps like support Taylor and I in this endeavor to like continue to create content and like a brand and a business and stuff. But also, there's just like really fun stuff there that we put behind a paywall. And so, if you want to check out extra podcast, if you like our podcast, then you're gonna love the extra podcast. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's just more of the podcast. So it's like, hell yeah. If you like ice cream, you know what you're gonna love? More ice cream. It's come full circle.
Absolutely.
Now we're talking about ice cream again. Dude, that ice cream cake sounded banging. I love an ice cream cake, number one.
It was.
I love the little crispies and the fudgies in the middle of like a mass produced ice cream cake.
Yeah.
But mint ice cream also is a banger. I'm like really weird because I have sensitive teeth. We're going to get on a small tangent, gang, about ice cream. Give us 5 seconds. I have really sensitive teeth. So when I used to go to Cold Stone, the people there would look at me like I had 10 heads because I'd be like, so I'm just going to get the mint ice cream and the coffee ice cream. And if you could just swirl that, and they would go, okay, cool. And what toppings? And I would go, no toppings. No. We're at Cold Stone. And I go, I know. I have sensitive teeth. I don't want to bite my ice cream. And it would be like, that's it. And so highly recommend if you like coffee ice cream and you like mint ice cream together, especially not like mixed, like one thing, like swirl, you know, so that you can get a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Woo! So good. Coffee ice cream is my absolute jam. That's my favorite of all freaking time. But anyway,
I'm a chocolate chip cookie dough guy, but the mint
I respect
chocolate
it.
was really good. It was just, especially because it's been so goddamn hot recently. It feels just cool.
Dude, it's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what though, if somebody dares put a mint chocolate chip that does not have green food coloring in it,
oh yeah,
get out of
How dare
town.
you.
How am I supposed to be able to tell that it's mint?
Exactly.
With my eyeballs and my judgment, about as accurate as figuring out if it's AI or not. Dude, we're on fire tonight. We should record all of our podcasts like this. It's honestly better. Okay, here we go. Next one. DM went mask off. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
When was this written? 5 months ago, so not during COVID, thank God. So we know it's unrelated to that, maybe. Even though COVID's still around, gang, just so you know.
It is still around, yeah.
All right.
Make sure you get your boosters.
1,000,000%. And depending on where you're located and who you're around and also how crowded things are, masks are still pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah.
But this
I have one that
DM
has a little cat face
went
on it.
mask off. Oh, that's sick. I had one that had 2 cans on it, but now I can't find it. It's been a minute. Okay. DM went mask off. This literally just happened an hour ago. For background, it's hard for me to commit to a time when most games are run. So play by post is the way I usually am able to play. Someone advertised a play-by-post game in an interesting modern-day setting. Sounds like Sphinx City. Sphinx City's way better, sorry. I reach out to the DM, and he quickly gets a group together. All 4 of us like playing together. We have fun characters, and we all do well together as a team. Fast forward to tonight. I make a self-deprecating joke about my own character, and the DM then makes his own joke at her expense. I commented that I laughed, but I would rather he not make those jokes. Then he said, he jokes. That's what he does. Ooh boy, here we go. Racist jokes, women jokes, Jew jokes, gay jokes, all the jokes. He hates everyone equally. Oh no. We all try uncomfortably laughing
Laughter should
it
never
off.
come from hate.
Yeah.
You shouldn't You shouldn't be making jokes
punching down,
because you hate something.
laughing it off until he starts going off on not being able to offend people anymore and how he should be able to be proud to be white. All 4 players left real quickly.
As they should have. As they absolutely should have. And play-by-post as a medium is good. Like, it's not for me, but I used to do it. I used to do like the old RP blogs. I was in a Lord of the Rings one.
Ooh, boy.
But yeah, this DM, yeah, should I'm not gonna say the things that they should do. He should do.
It involves
also
flying a kite,
man.
jumping in a lake, and
yeah,
taking a long walk off a short building top.
Yeah.
I hate this person. Yeah, this is just a literal horror story. There's nothing that can be done about this. You fortunately found out that it happened and that this person is this way, and now you guys can get out of there so that you stop wasting your time and you can start forming relationships with people who actually have empathy, compassion, and joy in their heart. Because I can only imagine how exhausting it is to be that hateful of a person. And who wants to be around somebody that just drains your energy like that? Like, just absolutely disgusting, vile person. Of course, you don't want to be at their table, let alone be their friend. So, like, the very first comment is, like, exactly kind of how I feel. It's just somebody saying, yeesh, least you found out pretty quickly. And that's the only thing you can say. Is like, and then another person later on, like further down, says people who say, quote unquote, they hate everyone equally somehow always target women and minorities. And that is super true. And you know, minorities is obviously pretty vague, but also if, you know, BIPOC people and also like, you know, queer and trans and all the LGBTQIA plus people, are definitely going to get most of your hate, buddy. I don't see you hating on the whole thing is ridiculous. We're not going to get into the ethics of punching down when it comes to jokes. Dave Chappelle, learn a little thing called humor. And also like the idea of like proud to be white, like chill out, bro. Like Taylor and I are both white, and it's like, I can't imagine being like, God, I'm proud that I'm like, what do you mean? I don't even think of it that way. I think of white as like a mutt. Like this idea of like, you're a million things. And it's just like, dude, if you know what, when it comes to my own ethnicity or something like that, I'm the person who's like clinging on to every percentage of an ancestry test so that I can be like, oh, cool, some Italian. That's at least a little interesting. Oh, a little bit of Norwegian. Sick. Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
0.04 Korean. Hell yeah. Fuck yes. Finally, something interesting. Like, I don't know. That's me personally, but man. No,
I mean, geez, I just don't understand the proud to be white. Like, white people have done heinous shit for literally their entire existence. Yeah, the most heinous shit for literally probably as long as they've been around. I mean, I'm not like, I don't hate white people. I don't hate myself for being white, but I also know there's not really a whole lot to be super proud of.
I know, right? It's really just like,
I mean,
unless you're like, and it has less to do with like being white. That's crazy. But like, you know, you can choose to look at like certain people like John Brown and be like, there were abolitionists. There were people who were trying to stand up against the injustices that were being thrust upon people of color and all this other kind of stuff. And like, when you're watching or learning about old history and stuff like that, why aren't you trying to identify with those people? Like, why are you identifying with the other people?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you? Like, when they're like, oh, you're trying to teach, like, you're trying to teach critical race theory in schools, and therefore you're trying to teach white kids to hate themselves. And it's like, why are your kids identifying with the bad people? That's on you as parents. What the fuck is going on? Identify with the abolitionists. Identify that, shit, that was fucked up. That's bad. Like, you don't have to be like, whoa, oh no, they did bad things, and therefore, like, but you can still stay woke and understand how everything is interconnected. I don't know. Absolutely freaking crazy. and a quick break from our sponsors, not sponsors rather, but from some of our followers and friends here. 50/50, it's pistachio. Oh, Dale says pistachio's his favorite flavor. Pistachio is an incredible flavor. It's one of the few times I will allow there to be something crunchy in my ice cream, because pistachio is, talk about refreshing. It's so interesting because, like, I don't, Taylor, do you like pistachios?
No, not even a little bit.
Okay, well then there you go. But it is interesting because it's whoa. I don't know if we can be partners anymore if you don't like pistachio. No, I'm kidding. I love pistachio. Not only is my favorite
pretty good
nut,
run, y'all,
but it's
we found the boundary that
good. That's the boundary.
Okay.
That's the most important opinion, because whether or not you like pistachios is an opinion. Whether or not you see other human beings as human beings is not an opinion. You're a piece of shit.
Right.
Thinking that some people deserve rights and other people don't, that's not an opinion. You're a piece of shit. Whether or not you like pistachio, I can disagree with Taylor and tell him that he's wrong all day, but I'm not going to think less of him. It's just an opinion. It is what it is. There are people who eat pineapple on pizza, and do I think less of them? A little bit, but that's different. That's different. You know what I mean? We also have some Allie over here talking about ices. I am a big fan of Italian ice. Do you call it Italian ice or water ice? Because I'm near Philly. There's a lot of people who call it water ice here. I know. For those listening, Taylor's making some faces. He's confused. He's mad, maybe?
But yeah, I'm very mad. I'm livid right now. Water ice?
Yeah, that's what they call it. I don't know, man. I call it Italian ice. Let's be clear. But people in Philly call it
Italian
water
ice.
Yeah, I like Italian ice. It's very good. I'm a big fan of Rita's. I like a
that
gelati.
Hurts my brain.
Yeah. You know what I don't like, though? I've never liked snow cones, because I have sensitive teeth, and like most of the time they're so rock hard. Right. Where it's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm licking the scrapiest fucking thing. It's terrible. Whereas like ices, they're smooth. They're like creamier, if you will. It's just like, that's better. So many interesting things going on here. Watermelon flavor, I can appreciate that. They do have a bitchin' dark chocolate vegan ice cream, though. Whoa. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever had vegan ice cream. That's not true. I've had Halo Top, maybe. I can't remember if Halo Top is the vegan one or if Halo Top is just like a low-cal one. It's been a minute. The DM should take some time to reflect, maybe see a therapist. Absolutely true. 1,000,000%.
They won't, though. They won't. They need to, but they won't.
Shaved ice is superior. Whoa. Interesting. I don't know if I agree, Dale/Allie. I don't like it when it's like ice flakes.
Superior to what?
To Italian ice.
To Italian ice? I'm with you, Justin.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know.
We run this podcast. What's up? We're
That's right.
You're
it's
wrong.
Our show, damn it. Ha! Moving on.
Wow. So many interesting stories so far. I really think that Reddit is just interesting to me as a social media platform, because I've never was a part of it really. Like, it's not ever something that I was like, I barely even understood it when it, like, people were talking about it and stuff. And like, I'm not on it now, except for this particular segment that we do every once in a while, like once every month and a half.
I'm on it every day.
Really?
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that there are subreddits and how like specific things can get, and how like it is like a community kind of thing, with the exception of like some bad actors and this and that. But like,
right.
It's just it just missed me. It's just like one of those things. It's like Final Fantasy series. People talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's good. I'm not doubting that it has its moments. It missed me at the time that I feel like it was influential in like a person's life. And so now I'm at an age where it's like they would have to come out with a brand new one for a system that I already own, and maybe I'll play it. But even then, probably not, because I don't have the connection to the game, like the world building and all of it. I would rather listen to you talk about it. Do you know what I mean? Me personally, than me play it. Like, I'd rather just watch you play and have a chit chat about it or something like that.
Yeah.
Rather than me play it. like, it's also like not my style of game really. As you know, I'm not a huge solo story game player.
Right.
Just because as much as I love video games and I think I'm pretty decent at them, I'm not like I'm not like a true gamer. I don't game that often.
Right.
You know?
I found a lot of really good stories in video games.
So true.
Like the storytelling is very good, and being able to play the game puts you in it, like immerses you more in the story. It pulls you in, especially when you're playing a really good game. Like recently, this is kind of weird, but I just started playing Resident Evil 8.
Okay.
And I got fully immersed in like a bad way almost. So it basically, there's the first like half hour of the game, nothing happens. Like literally there's nothing happening, but it's also the most afraid I've been in my entire life. Dale was there. Like I was playing this Resident Evil game, and the sound designer of this game basically always has something going on like just over your shoulder somewhere. You'll be walking through this.
That's scary.
Empty village. There's not a soul, nobody walking around. You can't find anybody to talk to, but there's always like on the other side of a building, you'll hear a twig snap, or you'll hear footsteps on the next street over. Like it's always, you can't ever see what's going on, but there's always something going on, and it's terrifying in the best way possible.
Yeah. Dude, scary video games are different because you're right. Video games are more immersive because you're part of the story. You're controlling that character. It feels different when you're watching a scary movie. You can't control what way the person goes, which is why you yell at the TV and you go, "What are you thinking? Don't go in the attic." But when you're playing it and you're like, "I literally can't continue the game unless I go in the attic." You're like, "Oh fuck."
Right.
Like I remember playing oh, this is crazy. So in high school, the person who's my roommate now, who's just like across the hall on the other side, there's like a bathroom on the other side of this wall, and then her bedroom is on the other side of that. We used to chill in high school all the time, and we would the Twitch people will get this, but we used to do some of that, and we would play Left 4 Dead 2, bro.
Hell yeah.
Crazy on Xbox. We would play Left 4 Dead 2. The sound of a little girl laughing. Those ones that would explode, the like bloaters or whatever, and like the only light you have is at the end of your shotgun. Absolutely terrifying, but it was a lot of fun because we would play it in the middle of the day with the windows open, like with the blinds open, so it's like really bright in the bedroom where it's like we know we're not going to get attacked by zombies. It's so bright here. But yeah, that was so fun, so interesting, and like it is really fun. Video games are super immersive, and there's a lot of really great storytelling, even in kids games. Like I saw a TikTok recently that was like, what's a video game that you love that you would be interested in like creating a setting for, like world building wise, like create a setting for based on this video game. And my knee jerk like first thought is Mortal Kombat always when somebody asks something like that, because it's set up for D&D. It's a fight tournament across multiverses. Like it literally writes itself. Then as I'm typing that out, I go, well, I just played Spyro recently. Oh, actually, that's a dope idea too. Like people are here, they're stealing eggs. You got these evil like goblin sort of creatures. They're turning the other dragons into stone. D&D dragons, but you play as a dragon. Oh, Spyro. And then Spyro made me think of other childhood games, and I was like, Banjo-Kazooie, hello.
Oh,
what the fuck? Banjo. And so I wrote all three, and then I wrote ... Fuck. Now I have to do a lot of work. I was like, oh no. But that's how easy it is to come up with inspiration, which is why if you use AI in order to, if you use generative AI and you're killing the planet and doing all these things in order to give yourself inspirational ideas, phooey on you. Because wasn't there an old cartoon called Kung Fooey or something like that?
Hong Kong Fooey. Dude,
we have to end on that note. This episode is brought to you by this pineapple juice
No,
that I
it's
just
not.
drank throughout the
Yeah,
episode. Thank you
stop
so
it.
much.
All right, that's all we can get into this time. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at SoYouWannaBeadm, or you can ask us a question at SoYouWannaBeadm@gmail.com. If you like the episode, don't forget to give us 5 stars and a review wherever you found us, and check out the Patreon, the Twitch, and our merch with a link in the description. Join us next time for more Dungeon Master tips and tricks.
Bye.
See you.
And now, I have the honor of giving a shout out to the members of our Patreon gang. Numuffins, may Palor's light shine upon you. Marsavies, have you watered your flesh prison lately? And then there's Elijah, Molly, Tappy, and Linguini. Gang, we appreciate and love you. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks from So You Wanna Be a DM.